Hello, and welcome to another Inktober-themed swatching video in which I go through old art and stationery supplies to test them out to see if they still work, if they're worth using, practicing with, and if I recommend them at all. I'm starting here with Smiggle color pens. Over a decade ago, when I was a preteen, Smiggle had just come to Australia and it was hugely popular with my age group. Everyone had Smiggle stationery, it was all the rage, so I had a few Smiggle items, and these are from those days. Therefore, I have had these pens a really long time, and they still work quite well. I had another set of these exact pens that I use to death, so these were brought to replace those ones, but I'd started to grow out of the craze by then. So these poor guys have just been languishing in a box with a bunch of other supplies. But they're really good pens for journaling, quick doodles, and the like. They're a little patchy, but they did not take much to get going again. They barely pushed through the paper, which is also from Smiggle actually, and it is not the best quality paper, but I'm just using up all my old sketch stuff to just get it gone and to test these lower quality supplies and to just test different bits and pieces out. And then we're moving on to the Montmartre Fineliner set, which I've also had for a little while, but nowhere near as long. A few of these were a bit damaged. This tip was quite pushed in, which made it scratchy on the paper. A few of the other ones were the grey, which I think I show next. Yes, it is really bent, so it's been pushed quite hard in a weird direction. It didn't make too much hassle on the paper, but I think it would be difficult to get like a precise line. This blue was also had a real congealed sort of tip, and the ink came out a bit blotty. And the red was also very scratchy, but the rest of them were really good. I think the red had just started drying out, but these were really good. I definitely would recommend these. They are from Montmartre, which is a popular Australian art brand. These are student grade, but they work really well for beginners, so I can see myself using them a lot. And they didn't go through the poor quality paper at all. They're significantly cheaper than alternatives, and yeah, I would say they're a great place to start. I'm excited to use them again. And then now we are moving on to a Typo fineliner set. Typo is a part of the Cotton On Group, which is an Australian brand that covers a range of retail areas and are fairly inexpensive options. Now, I'm not sure I could recommend these particular fineliners. I have another set of fineliners coming up that are significantly better. For instance, these come out as more of a very dark grey, which if you know that's what you're getting and you want dark grey, then that's brilliant. But if you're going a fineliner set that claims to be black, you want black. But most of these still work really well. The only pen that I had an issue with was the 0.4, where the tip has just been pushed completely in or it's come completely off. I think poor usage made it like that, but I can't quite remember doing so. That pen in particular, I do think I will just throw out. As you can see, it went through the paper significantly more. That here is showing what a good tip would look like in comparison to the last one. But yes, as I was saying, it went through the paper significantly more, but I am not blaming the pens for that, and fineliners and markers that way can do that in general. I wouldn't say these are bad, and if you have the option to get them like quite cheap, I think they retail for $16. I would not pay the full price for them. That's Australian dollars, obviously. Uh, Everything I'm listing is Australian dollars. These are all things I can get in Australia because I am Australian. These next pens, they are Itsy Bitsy. The brand is Itsy Bitsy, sorry. They are from the Reject Shop, which is another Australian shop. It's an odds and ends random shop. I can't remember the price of these, but they would have been cheap. I cannot find them again on their store, which is devastating because these pens are my favorite of all the pens I swatched today. They took a little while to get the silver going, but the rest worked really, really well, and they are so nice to do those little scribble swatches with. They're glitter pens with sort of like a low shimmer, and it's not too in your face, which works really well for me because later on I will swatch extremely glittery pens, and they would make very nice companions for each other. Lots of fun in journaling and free sketches and doodles. So you can have a little bit of glitter next to a lot of glitter. These Itsy Bitsy pens were lovely. They flowed so well, so smooth. They're not patchy at all. I will 100% be using these. If you can find them anywhere, I definitely recommend them. But if you have other good recommendations for glitter pens, please comment below. Now these here are the excellent fineliner set. They are the Uniball Pin Fineliner set, and I definitely recommend these. They are a little more pricey than the Typo set at about $28, but they are significantly better. That is a true black right there. They are so deep and nice. They flow lovely. Their sizes get very, very small, and so you can do a lot of fine detail with them. Now they don't have a chisel tip, and their thickest is only 1.8, so if you wanted thicker, you are unfortunately out of luck here. And they do have two 0.5s. I'm not sure if that is a super common size that people like to use, so they have two of that in case one runs out. It is interesting and something I would have to look into, but I am very, very glad to have these, and when I get into sketching again, these will be my most beloved companion, I am sure. Look at them, they are so lovely, and they barely push through the paper at all compared to the Typo ones, so they'll be great to have on any good quality paper. 10 out of 10, recommend these. These and the Itsy Bitsies are my favorite. Those ones I know you can buy. Itsy Bitsy, not so much. Here are the other glitter pens. They are from Kmart. They are the Kmart Unko brand. They're a little bit harder to work with. They took a lot of scribbling to get going, but they are very, very glittery, so I wonder if some of the glitter got congested in the tip and made it hard, because once they were flowing, they were great. And that's the thing, you know what you're getting when you buy from Kmart. I do like the Itsy Bitsy way, way more than these, but unfortunately I don't know if I will be able to get Itsy Bitsy again, so these are a great alternative. I mean, you know what you're getting when you're getting glitter pens, so these work really well and I have no real complaints. I do have to say the Kmart in Australia is very different from the Kmart in America, and I don't know if Kmart is in other places, but you should definitely Google the differences if you've not seen it. It's quite amusing to see how different they are. But yes, these glitter pens are absolutely fine to work with, and they will be a good companion in my journaling, and they're very, very inexpensive, so you're not like wasting anything. But like I said before, if you know some really, really good glitter pens, I feel like that's a funny thing to ask, but if you know some really, really good glitter pens, let me know. As you can see in the light here, some of them do seem to shimmer more than others, and they tend to be the pale colors, shimmer a bit more, but they all look really, really, really good in person. Now, this set, I have no idea where it came from, and searching the brand did not help very much at all. I have had them a while. The brand is called Happy Day, I think. Googling that didn't really help me much at all. And a few of these pens did not work. I don't know if that's just because they've been sitting there and the ink's dried up, unfortunately, but as I don't know where these pens came from and they aren't working very well, I would not necessarily recommend these over other colored pens. I mean, if you can buy them at all. But as you can see here, this purple pen was not working whatsoever, which is a shame because it looks like a lovely color. But I am sure these pens are inexpensive. If you find them and they're brand new and fresh, they probably do work a lot better. And the ones that do work actually are smoother than the Smiggle ones. But I know that they are not as old as the Smiggle ones, so, you know, bit of this, bit of that. But yeah, that is pretty much all for this video. Thank you for watching. I hope that you enjoyed that, and I hope that you found some things interesting. Leave any questions / recommendations below, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!